COVID-19 curbing efforts to remain. Last Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev laid to rest. Phase 1 of Borneo is 86% completed. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Cheryl Shomnato and this is TVS Nightline. Although the rate of COVID-19 infections are at a controlled state amidst the relaxation of SOPs since May 1, this does not mean efforts to curb the spread is placed on hold. Hence, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Douglas Ugas Embas, urged the public to always stay vigilant as there is a possibility of a new wave of COVID-19 infections.
Tapi saya minta kita masih berjaga-jaga. Because Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah on the 13th International Symposium and Health Science 2022 remind us a new COVID-19 wave could be in the horizon. So far, kita Sarawak masih bertuah, and we hope we continue to be vigilant, sama-sama keeping ourselves untuk menentukan bahawa life goes on.
He said this while speaking at the COVID-19 Frontliners Appreciation Ceremony, Northern Zone in Miri. He also hopes that all parties, be it the people or the government, to continue to be cooperative in facing challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
Let us continue to work together. The STMC has proved by working together we can overcome apa di hadapan kita, termasuk seperti kita dah saksi pada pandemik yang lepas.
For records, Malaysia has entered the endemic phase since April 1st, 2022. According to the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, the transition is the exit strategy for Malaysians to come back to normalcy after 2 years battling with the COVID-19.
The last Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, was buried on Saturday, September 3 at Moscow's historic Novodevichy Cemetery, alongside his wife Raisa, who died 23 years ago.
Gorbachev, leader of the Soviet Union from 1985 to 1991, died on Tuesday, aged 91. His body lay in state in the Grand Hall of the Columns in the central Moscow in the tradition of the previous Soviet leaders, including Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin. Best known in the West for helping end the Cold War, reducing his country's nuclear stockpile, and for unwittingly presiding over the demise of the Soviet Union, Gorbachev's legacy still divides opinion inside and outside Russia. President Vladimir Putin briefly paid his respects to Gorbachev on Thursday, September 1st, at the hospital where he died, but stayed away from the Saturday's memorial event, with the Kremlin citing his busy schedule. Nor was Gorbachev granted a full state funeral, unlike his nemesis Boris Yeltsin, Russia's first post-Soviet president and the man who named Putin as his successor, who died in 2007.
Phase 1 of the Borneo Highway project in Sarawak is now 86% complete, a 786-kilometre stretch from Teluk Melano to Miri. Senior Works Minister Dato' Sri Fadilah Yusof said that several more sections of the highway are expected to be opened this year, and those in Sarike, Bukit Pegunan and Lambir are expected to be completed next year.
Kita terpaksa duduk untuk melihat bahawa bagaimana mereka dapat mempercepatkan proses supaya ianya dapat meet up daripada expectation kita lah, iaitu the target of completion majority of the project by end of this month atau this year dapat disiapkan, dan ada 3 projek yang akan melampaui next year dapat kita capai.
He was speaking to reporters after attending the Sarawak Media Engagement Program on Saturday. Fadila also said that the Ministry of Finance is currently finalizing the procurement aspect of the Sarawak-Sabah Link Road SSLR Phase 2 project and the Trans-Borneo Highway LTB project, which amounts to a ceiling allocation of 12 billion ringgit for those two projects. Previously, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said that the federal government had approved the SSLR Phase 2 projects and the LTB projects as construction would begin next year. The Prime Minister said that it would benefit the residents greatly in Mulu, Long Seridan, Nangga Mendamit and others that rely on logging roads to commute.
Mungkin sebab itu banyak adjustment yang paksa dibuat oleh para contractors. But we will look into all that aspect. Yang penting ialah komitmen untuk kita pastikan dapat siapkan mengikut apa yang telah kita rancangkan.
The government is currently studying the ramifications of the separating of powers between the Attorney General and the Public Prosecutor. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said that many other countries, even the Commonwealth countries, have done this, but the proposal is not so easy to implement.
Wan Junaidi also explained that if the proposal were to be implemented in Malaysia, approximately 19 existing laws and federal constitution have to be amended. Adding to that, the government needs to incur additional spending as the matter would cost a lot. Wan Junaidi said that he personally supports the proposed separations of powers, but a conclusive study must be done before any decision is made. Sunway's University's political scientist Professor Wong Chin Huat was reported in a local media suggesting that the role of a public prosecutor be separated from the Attorney General before the 15th general election. He added that this is necessary so the public prosecutor is free from any political interference.
Rembau Member of Parliament Khairi Jamaluddin has confirmed that he will not be defending his seat in the upcoming 15th general election. Khairi said the reason was that he was asked to give way to UMNO Deputy President Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan, who wants to contest the Rembau seat.
Dan oleh kerana beliau adalah Ketua UMNO bahagian Rembau, saya timbalan kepada beliau. Jadi beliau telah minta saya cari tempat lain lah untuk bertanding sebab dia kata dia nak bertanding di Rembau. Jadi saya tidak ada halangan.
Khairi told a media conference after closing the 2022 National Organ Donation Awareness Week on Sunday. The Health Minister, having been the Rembau MP since 2008, said that now he has to look for another constituency that would accept him. He added that in the worst-case scenario, he would be fine if he is not contesting at all in the upcoming election. Khairi said that as a member of UMNO, he would follow the decision made by UMNO and Barisan National leadership regarding his candidacy and seat to contest in the 15th general election.
In other matters, the Ministry of Health or MOH will make the announcement on withdrawal of the face mask mandate for enclosed spaces will be made before Wednesday. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the Public Health Executive Committee have had advice from experts on the matter last week.
However, it is still in the process of data collection before announcing the decision this September 7th. Khairi also said that the government will make announcements on other relaxation of standard operating procedures SOP, which include the wearing of face masks.
Meanwhile, through TVS's survey, the community still maintains their awareness regarding the necessity of wearing face masks, especially at high-risk areas and enclosed spaces. Although withdrawing face masks is not seen as an issue, however, there are also among those who see the mandate as a concern. Now here's what the public have to say.
Bagi saya, kita dah terima 3 dos vaksin dan beri keyakinan pada kita bahawa kita boleh bersosial seperti dulu dan memberi semangat baru untuk menghadapi cabaran akan datang.
Kita mau berjaga-jagalah, berhati-hatilah kita dengan orang-orang yang sekeliling kita. Kita perlu nak guna lagi lah benda ya, pelitup muka mulut ya. Kita perlu makai lagi. Kita tanggung kita pun lah, risiko kita pun.
For Muhammad Sofian Rajunai, he will continue to wear face masks as a prevention to ensure the safety and well-being of others.
Penutup muka tu nya untuk protek kita pun juga. Kayak kita tahu yang kita pun ada sakit supaya untuk tidak menyebarkan. Risikonya hanyalah kita pun yang nanggung. Kita pun yang akan hadap barang tu. Kita siapa nanggap virus apa indah. Contohlah.
The aging population can bring about a shift in the working age ratio. The younger workforce have little chance to advance since the older generations have the skills and knowledge to stay at the helm. This begs the question as to how the dynamics would affect human resources as well as the overall growth of the economy. Hence, Dr. Lucy Siew, a senior professor at UNIMAS, on her thoughts on this matter. Here's what you missed.
The other long-term impact will be on the country's sustained economic growth. The age structures of a country population should affect the country's and will affect the country's economic performance. Generally, countries with a youthful populations will be more productive than a country with an older one. As it will have a larger labor force relative to population size. With more workers, a country could produce more goods and services. Thus, youthful countries tend to grow faster economically than older countries. Now, a general loss of economic dynamism also explains, why many advanced countries, with older populations have become more open to immigrations in recent years. Now, increased spending obligations created by the aging populations will shift resources away from investments and also productions, thus impacting on the future growth in the economy in the longer term. And a review of the current situations indicates inadequate social provisioning for older Malaysians. Concerted efforts must therefore make to ensure that the older adults receive sound health care and to be and be protected by social security schemes that prevent them from falling into poverty. There is a need for well-developed infrastructures that allows them to continue to work in a less stressful environment with a very flexible employment structures. Older adults have skills and also expertise required by a rapidly industrializing society, and these with the flexible employment structures. Now you have to bear in mind that older generations have more skills and also expertise which is required by a rapidly industrializing societies.
When asked to comment on how to better manage the aging workforce situation without risking the younger generation's opportunities, Dr. Lucy suggested integration in order to minimize the generational gap.
You have to bear in mind that older generations have more skills and also expertise which is required by a rapidly industrializing societies, and these resources need to be employed productively. Just because they are old doesn't mean they are no longer useful, all right? But you have to bear in mind that they are they have skills and experience, all right? And this is we should take advantage of that, all right? Now, I think intergenerational programs also should be I think considered in order to foster interactions which facilitate the sharing of skills. And also knowledge or also experience between the old and also the young generations to ensure integrations between the different generations. And I think these integrations could contribute towards the creations of not only creations to a unified Malaysian identity that transcends ethnic differences and also age as well.
Coming up right after the break, organ donation registration can now be made via My Sejahtera. Devastating floods cuts off road access in Pakistan. Right here on Tvs Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. The registration for organ donation can be made through the My Sejahtera application starting from September 6. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin announced this due to the very low rate of organ donation. According to the Global Observatory on Donation and Transplantation, Malaysia is among the 10 countries with the lowest transplant rates in 2021.
Khairi also said that the number of patients waiting for an organ donation in Malaysia as of Sunday is 10,442 people. However, since 1975, only 2,700 transplant cases involving organ donation have been done. Khairi will also make an announcement on new regulation regarding face masks this Wednesday. He also said that his ministry needs 3 approaches before the countries can confirm a move to the endemic phase, which also includes a declaration by the World Health Organization (WHO).
Singapore's Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Lawrence Wong arrived on Sunday for a 4-day working visit to Malaysia. Wong flew in from Singapore via a commercial flight and arrived at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA, where he was received by Foreign Ministry Chief of Protocol Muhammad Aini Atan, Chief of Ceremony of the Malaysian Government Dato' Rosino Ramli, and Singapore High Commission to Malaysia Vanu Gopala Menon.
During his visit, Wong is scheduled to have an audience with the young Di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah at Istana Negara. He is also scheduled to call on Prime Minister Dato' Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, as well as meet with the Senior Defence Minister Dato' Seri Hishamuddin Hussein, Finance Minister Tengku Dato' Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, and Bank Negara Malaysia Governor Tan Sri Nur Samsiah Muhammad Yunus. Singapore is Malaysia's second largest trading partner and largest in ASEAN, with trade value amounting to 267.11 billion ringgit in 2021. This is Deputy Prime Minister Wong's first official visit to Malaysia after being appointed in June 2022.
Malaysia will not compromise on people who commit wrongdoings, especially those who abuse and mistreat any foreign workers. Foreign Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Abdullah said that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had conveyed the national government's position to the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Malaysia, Hermono, and to Saifuddin's counterpart, Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno LP Marsudi.
Last Friday, media reported that an Indonesian maid was abused by her employer, including allegedly not paying her salary since she started working in 2019. Saifuddin was commenting on the case as the Indonesian maid was abused in Batu Caves, Selangor, and is now at Hospital Selayang for treatment. Saifuddin added that he had been in contact with the Inspector General of Police, Tan Sri Aikril Sani Abdullah Sani, and was informed that the police would give priority to the case. He was speaking at a media conference and added that Malaysia was also saddened and sympathized with the victim of the case.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to more global affairs. Video from Johor showed flood water swamping the entire town in Pakistan's Sindh province on Saturday, September 3, completely cutting off road access. Aerial footage showed the extent of the flooding, which has forced the main bus stop to be converted into a boat stop to allow residents to make trips to nearby market towns.
Residents said on Saturday that the town had run out of provisions and getting fresh supplies was difficult and expensive. The toll from cataclysmic floods in Pakistan climbed on Saturday, with 57 more deaths, 25 of them are children, as the country grapples with a relief and rescue operation of near unprecedented scale. A high-level body set up to coordinate the relief effort met in Islamabad on Saturday for the first time, chaired by the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, to take stock of the disaster. Record monsoon rains and melting glaciers in the northern mountains brought floods that have affected 33 million people and killed at least 1,265 people, including 441 children. The inundation, blamed on climate change, is still spreading. The proportion of children's death has raised concern. On Friday, the United Nations Children's Agency UNICEF said there was a risk of many more child's deaths from disease after floods. The floods that have inundated a third of the country were preceded by 4 heat waves and multiple raging forest fires, the disaster management chief told a high-level meeting, highlighting the effects of climate change in the South Asian nation.
When Notre Dame de Paris suffered extensive structural damage in a major fire, most of the historic cathedral's stained glass was able to withstand the heat and the flames. More than 3 years after the massive blaze, 8 glass manufacturers from France have begun the painstaking operation to clean and restore 39 high windows in a medieval cathedral's nave, choir, transept, and sacristy.
The windows were heavily soiled with smoke and dust, which block external light and obscure the range of colors of the 170 years old glass. The glass cleaning process involves gently rubbing the surface with cotton soaked in water and ethanol, a delicate and repetitive process aimed at collecting deposit without damaging the window. The cathedral has been closed for restoration since the April 2019 fire gutted its roof and sent its spire crashing through the vaults below. The aim is to reopen the cathedral, which dates back to the 12th century, by 2024, when France hosts the Olympic Games. Notre Dame's stained glass windows were created by architect Eugene Viollet-le-Duc, who also designed the 96-meter spire, which master glassmaker Maréchal de Metz created the cathedral sacristy stained glass.
An avid entrepreneur bringing local products to shine, and father-daughter pair bonds over similar interests. And tomorrow they'll be making a visit to Sejahtera Asia, where hosts Jessica Chung and Wan Alif will be interviewing Hajah Fitria Haji Rabi, Jamal Liduk and Melanie Joyce. 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. Just a click away by visiting our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Cheryl Shamiato. Thank you for watching.